Shannon Thompson, to announce
Okay.
her arrival.
I think we're in some kind of like smog dance-a-thon here, and we should have got people to sponsor us, you know, per idea that we got to listen to. But the good news of it being a long afternoon is that it's astounding actually what's happening in this city, and I think Toronto really is taking the leadership in lots of ways, and that's exciting. So I represent Moving the Economy. And I basically don't disagree with anything that's been suggested. What Moving the Economy is it's actually an attempt to pull the partners together. So we're actually a partnership that includes all three levels of government, plus the NGO sector, plus the corporate sector, which was kind of the idea of today, is doing that on a larger scale, and that's what we've done. And what we're trying to do is attract investment to the sustainable transportation sector. Why that? Well, we often think of, when we talk about sustainable transportation, it's kind of the last holdout, it seems, in terms of us thinking of it as just something that's an expense, it's going to cost governments money, it's a charity, that kind of thing. In the energy sector, we sort of got over that, it seems, a little while ago, but transportation, it seems to be a little bit more difficult. And what we discovered in a 1998 international conference that we held is that there are people all over the world, and you saw some of the initiatives with the ICLEI presentation that was up there, people all over the world that have success stories of sustainable transportation projects that have, and ideas and services and new products that have been implemented that have created some kind of benefit. It's a new product, so someone's got to make it. It creates jobs. It revitalizes the downtown areas. It makes cities more livable, which actually attracts headquarters of companies and workers and all those kinds of things. There's a million ways in which you get economic benefit from doing the right thing. And that we needed to change the language around this so that we didn't see it just as trying to come up with non-existent public resources, but as an investment actually that pays back, and sometimes extremely quickly. That's what Moving the Economy is about. In terms of what we're doing about it, a couple things. We try and partner with different people. So as an example, we partnered with the Board of Trade and the Toronto Atmospheric Fund to look at using the existing rail corridors. You know, we've got this beautiful transit system, and there's a couple of lines that serve people who live close to them really nicely, but there's reaches of Toronto that aren't very close to those, and we've got existing infrastructure that's underutilized right now that could be used. So that's one thing that we're working on. We actually were all set to go with an electric bike pilot project that was being coordinated by Transport Canada and a bunch of other cities, and found out that the Ontario laws forbid us to do that. So that'll be part of my recommendations coming up. We've done a series of seminars on goods movement. It's been mentioned, it's actually an incredibly important sector for emissions and for livability for the city, and everyone...
I meant to make by way of points. The progressiveness of this meeting is absolutely amazing. I'm just amazed by how many fantastic ideas, and so many of them actually being done too. Cars don't work as a core transportation system. European capitals have busted their budgets and their hearts on the car and given up, essentially. All the progressive ones have started to walk away. That's kind of interesting. Locally, we need mixed mode between bikes and transit. It's a small thing, but it's one that will expand the network a great deal and make biking more accessible to areas in the outlying regions. It's something we need. You know, it's a small thing, doesn't cost very much money. It's just a change of behavior. It's not really a budgetary issue, right? Very small resource issue, but a big help for everybody. Predictable times for transit would be a big help, just so that people can find out pretty close to when their train or bus is going to arrive. Cycling's not safe enough. A lot of people would use it if they could. It's not safe enough for a lot of mainstream folk to consider, you know, risking themselves out of the road. That's not right, you know. It's, you know, again, it's a small budget item compared to building more roads, which will just induce traffic. Okay, another thing, here's a wonky one for you. Possibly permitting car-free zoning. Everyone wants to live on Toronto Island. They have a huge waiting list of people willing to do without a car. It's kind of weird, but I think that if at all possible, it'd be nice if people could designate their area, you know, a 6-block area, car-free, so they don't have to listen to them and hear them drive by and have people going through their neighborhoods. I'd like it to be called car exhaust, not smog. I don't want the announcements to say, we have a mysterious phenomenon that came out of the concrete and we're not sure what it is, but we call it smog, so please, if you don't like it, don't breathe. You know, I think it should be clear that the responsibility is with people that are driving for a lot of what's creating smog, and that it should be called, we have a car exhaust alert today. don't drive if you don't have to. You may be part of the problem. And the last thing I'd like to say is that I don't think that activists engaged in putting forward ideas that 20 years ago would have been regarded as completely nuts, that are currently our mainstream thoughts on the environment. They were right the whole time. I don't think that those people should be arrested and banned from a building in the middle of trying to make the very point that we're here to address. I really think that's wrong, and I'm sure a lot of people here agree. And I think that the ban on Tipper in particular should be rescinded as soon as possible, because he's a valuable contributor and he was speaking for a lot of people here, trying to do a very small, low inconvenience activity. Thanks very much.
Cops are watching us.